everyone, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be talking about one of my major interests. Some might say obsession, because I do think about it a lot, and it does consume most of my thought processes, which is the case with me. Whenever I get interested in something, I don't tend to get interested in it in just a little way. I get interested in it in an all-consuming, obsessive way. My current interest, as I'm sure you will be aware, other than philosophy, is cooking and eating good food. This has been a lifelong interest, but its latest permutation is this real desire and need to cook all these different recipes, which I've always had to some extent, but it's become more obsessive lately. And also, more lately, a real interest and awareness of seasonality, like what foods are in season when, and really wanting to eat the foods that are currently in season. I have thought a little bit about why I'm so interested in seasonality. After some reflection, I think it seems obvious now after some reflection. It took me a little while to work it out, because sometimes when people ask me why I like something, why I'm interested in something, initially I'm not sure. I just I like it. So I have to go away and think about it. But I think the reason why I'm so interested in seasonality is that it brings a lot of order to my life. I really like order. I like completion. I like things to be perfect. I hate chaos. I hate mess. I hate anything like that. And it's a little bit annoying because I am quite disorganised myself. I find it quite hard to keep things tidy, and when things get messy, I get really stressed, because I like everything to be ordered, but then I also have a problem with keeping things in order. So the seasonality thing, I think it's an easy way to kind of bring some order into my life. It serves that purpose. It does, though, make me a little bit anxious as well, because there is this intense pressure there to ensure that I do this properly, that I don't miss out, that I eat everything when I'm supposed to eat it, when it's in season, and I want to do it all properly, 100% perfectly. I want to be the perfect seasonal eating goddess. I don't want to get any of this wrong, sort of thing. I like to know what I'm eating each day. And also, because I have synesthesia, as I'm sure I've mentioned to you before as well, my week is very visually laid out. I can actually visualise the days of the week, so I can see it in front of me, almost like I'm walking through time. Each day is writ large, it's bold in my mind. And also, of course, it's not just in my mind though. I have this real sense of it kind of being out there as well. It's really hard to explain, but alongside each day I have this kind of sort of map in my head about what I'm supposed to be eating and how it all ties together, and the same with months of the year. So the seasonality thing, it kind of in a way augments the order that I already have naturally anyway, because of synesthesia, and it makes it even more kind of bold and perfect, I guess, because in my mind I can very clearly see the foods that I'm eating, lined up against the months or the days of the week. It gives me a good feeling, and I enjoy copying recipes into my books, often from BBC Good Food. What I do is I put all the recipes up on my Facebook page, just so they're there, because that's an easy place to kind of store them, and then I kind of come back, sometimes a later date, and I kind of copy them and put them in my books. This is my dessert book here, and I've got a savoury one as well. And it's all nicely ordered, into different categories, which is great. Again, I know, and then when I know what I'm eating in a week, that's great, when I've got some sort of plan there. But I do get anxious when I can't decide what to cook. Out of all these options, it can be quite bewildering. How do you decide? And that does cause me a lot of tension, stress, and anxiety. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, really, because this interest does make my life more ordered and more complete, but it also can bring anxiety when I'm having to make all these decisions, and I want to do it all, and I can't do it all. You can't cook everything. You can't try every recipe. You can't read every book, can you? But I want to. So it's really annoying, that discrepancy there. And I think it's connected to my need for routine, because my days are clearly demarcated around breakfast, lunch, dinner. I've always loved making food, apart from when I was at school, and I used to get told off sometimes for creating mess, or it looks like a dog's been at it. I wouldn't touch that with a barge pole. That's what my food technology teacher used to say to me. It's actually quite funny when you think about it. I was mortified when she used to tell me off like that in lessons, because I couldn't keep up, and I've always been quite slow. I mean, I could do things well if I'm given time, but of course, when you're at school, you didn't have that time, so I did sometimes get told off. But aside from that, when I'm at home and everything, I've always enjoyed cooking. I used to cook a lot with my mum, and when I was a kid, I wanted to be a chef. That never happened. I couldn't work in a fast-paced kitchen. No way. I'd end up getting shouted at. I can imagine like Gordon Ramsay. Gordon Ramsay. The man behind the F word. Well, he's a British chef, but sort of celebrity chef. And he's very sweary, and he gets angry if people don't take a line. Yeah. So no, I wouldn't cope in a mainstream kitchen. I'd probably be shouted at. But yeah, I love eating. It's comforting. It feels good. I love nutrition. It makes me think of food and eating, and I like to know that the food might help me, might make me healthy, because I do care about my health, although that scares me too. So I do have OCD around food as well. I guess because it is one of my strong interests, it also makes me more receptive to negative information around areas I'm interested in. I like photographing the food I make. It brings order to my life. I'm always photographing, so say for sake of argument, I've tried a new, for example, a Meridian bar. I'm trying all the different Meridian breakfast bars at the moment. Meridian is a company and they do cereals, but they also do sort of fruit and nut bars. And every time I have one, I take a picture of it just to remind me what I've already eaten, so that I can try every single one, because I don't like replicating myself. Only if I really, really enjoy something will I have it again. But there's so many different recipes, I want to try every single one. So I guess we'll need to collect every single experience. I mean, life's too short, so I have to keep on, moving forward with this. So I take pictures to remind me of what I've already had, and it just creates a sense of order, and I love it, because I just love order. I like cataloguing things. And I think it's like I'm at least getting one part of my life right that I can control. So yeah, I like jotting down recipes, as I mentioned, for BBC Good Food. I like working through the recipes. It makes me feel competent. I like to follow the recipes exactly, however. It is hard for me to diverge. I like to know the recipe has been tried by others. It's almost like I'm living vicariously through others. It's sort of nice knowing that it has some outside validity, seal of approval. I love knowing what other people eat and getting food ideas from other sources. So if you get, people who I've known for some time, it is hard for me to resist at some point asking them what food they like. I'm afraid I just have to do it. So I hope that's okay for people who are the recipients of those questions. It's just something I just have to do. I just like knowing what people eat, and I don't know, it's just a way I can kind of categorise people in my mind based upon what they eat. So yeah. I like to follow recipes because they're more ordered with the clear steps and progression, and also linked to good sources like the BBC makes me feel part of a wider thing. As I say, I do find it hard to diverge. I guess I'm creative with a small c, in the sense that I am creating all the time, I'm making recipes all the time, I'm not just shoving something in the oven or putting a meal in a microwave, I do cook from scratch. But I would say I'm probably a little bit short on the imagination front, because I do prefer to follow other people's ideas. So creative with a small c. I'm afraid I'm not particularly imaginative. Just because, I don't know, I just like following other people's recipes. I don't know why, I just like doing it like that. It's clear, it's ordered, it's progressive steps, it's feeling part of a wider thing. It feels this sense of connection and order to this wider food world out there. I don't know what it is. And maybe it's also, I just kind of, I don't know, it feels like it's got that seal of approval, I guess. Collecting. And seasons give an anchor point, a purpose to all of this. Collecting food experiences and comparing brands, links to culture and how people eat, feeling connected by food. As I've mentioned, the fact I see for a year and a week, so I like the order of the connections. As you can see, food lined up by the months, but as I say, I do get stressed because it feels a lot of pressure. Right, I'm going to finish this video now, moving on to video 2. In the next video, I'm going to be talking more about seasonality, and also I will just refer to some recipes I've tried or that I'm going to try. So thank you for watching.